Give me a call if you're going to be late. I love you. Call me if you can't make it. I love you.
Weaver Basket Factory, the last straw speaking.
Becky?
Laura? Lori, where are you?
You'd never guess.
What happened? They hijacked your boat to Cuba?
No way, Jose. But we did actually go bananas.
I tell you, we had a honeymoon you would not believe.
Oh, yeah? Well, try me.
Well, let's just say I learned a lot about my husband's profession, the hard way.
Uh-oh, what happened?
What didn't happen? First, Ben got seasick an hour after the cruise took off.
Lori, on your honeymoon night?
Yes. And by the time we finally found some medicine, it was 3 in the morning and Ben was green. Next, he got sunburned.
Oh, sounds like a colorful honeymoon. First green, next red.
Oh, but there's more. After a couple of days of being a really soft touch, Ben decided to go swimming again in another port.
Mm-hmm. And I had to get 2 lifeguards to carry him back to his room, both feet injured. First, he stepped on a broken seashell, and next, a great big crab bit his other foot.
Poor guy. I bet you were tired of being a nursemaid, huh?
Well, to tell you the truth, I loved it. We had a great time, Becky. But the best part was coming back. We have a home.
Of course you have a home. I mean, his place may be a little early macho, but
No, that was Ben's surprise.
His parents gave us a condominium. Fully furnished. Becky, it's gorgeous.
Well, Laura, that's great.
I still can't believe it. Hey, look, I've got to go to school this morning for some backup assignments. What do you say I stop by your place and... Oh, I've got so much to tell you about.
Laura, I'd love it, really. I'd love to see you, but, listen, I gotta go out this afternoon. How about later? I'd love to see your condo.
Okay, how about noon? You can be my first luncheon guest.
No chicken soup.
No chicken soup. I promise. I'll surprise you. Maybe even myself.
Okay, you're on. I have a couple of surprises for you, too. Oh, listen, before you hang up, give me your address.
That's right. Okay.
Wait a minute, let me grab a pencil.
Okay.
Shoot.
7561.
561.
Culpeper Lane.
Culpeper Lane?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, now when you leave your house, you just go down the...
Good morning there.
Really?
It was when I got to work an hour ago. Want to talk?
You would not understand. This problem has existed long before you came.
I'm glad it's not me. That Chamber of Commerce breakfast?
The scrambled eggs were fine. I was fried.
Slaymaker, huh?
Who else? That man is impossible. Sometimes I would just like to poke out his yolks.
Ooh, you are upset, huh?
Look, I have taken just about all I'm gonna take from that man. The accusations challenging my authority. I mean, he makes promises for me that I cannot even keep.
Hey, little lady. Now, does this have anything to do with Protochem?
Protochem is just one of many. It is a never-ending cycle.
Uh-huh. Well, look, when you cool down, I think you will see things from a different perspective.
Well, I don't think...
Carpenter can't get away with this. I demand that something be done.
Yeah, hey, you're back.
Yeah, have you seen what I've come back to? Carpenter's little wedding gift to barricade me out of business? I mean, there are no sidewalks, just chunks of concrete and holes and mud.
We are aware of the situation.
And what's left of the parking lot is a wading pool. I mean, 6 more inches, I can offer free boat rides with each checkup. If my patients can pole vault into the office.
Dr. Martin, I can assure you that we have got everything under control.
Oh, good, because I'm not. I mean, he has pushed me too far. This is harassment. And don't tell me to call my lawyer, because he's already put Doug out of business. I mean, he's gone, just like that.
Hey, man. We've already revoked his permit when we discovered his motives.
Well, it's a little late, don't you think? The damage has been done. I mean, you cannot rebuild a sidewalk in a day. Look at me, I'm a mess.
Yeah, I'll say, well, what happened? I mean, it looks like you've done a little mudslinging on your own.
I was trying to make a path for my patients, and I almost slipped into Carpenter's mire of injustice. Sam, Jean, what can you do?
Well, I have done all that we can do. The revocation notice has been sent out and a hearing has been scheduled.
You mean Carpenter can appeal?
Well, that is the law.
Great. When's the hearing?
In 14 days.
He's got me again.
Maybe his perspectives will change when he cools off.
Helen, I think we should have a talk. All this pouting and avoiding one another isn't getting us anywhere.
And love, kindness, not to mention trust. That never got me anywhere with you either, did it, Charles?
Oh, I applaud your insight, but unfortunately for you, it comes just a little too late.
It's never too late.
Your optimism in the light of everything else that's happened is just more evidence of your flawed judgment.
No, the flaw is in your character. Poor Charles. So strong and yet so weak.
Poor Charles. Where do you get the audacity to call me weak? When everything you've owned you've been duped out of. It's almost laughable.
You chose to take rather than earn. Well, Hollister Moore could have made you a rich man, but you let greed and insecurity ruin you.
The word is impatience. And frankly, I consider it a virtue.
Now, call it what you will.
Helen, I want a divorce.
Well, that's the one thing that I refuse to give you. Although I won't say that I haven't considered it.
You don't have any choice.
You've stolen all my money. Now, I will not let you rob me of my dignity and my family.
I don't love you.
No, you don't love anybody but Miriam. Oh, I've known that a long, long time. But briefly, I'd hope you changed when you came back to me.
That was simply because I had nowhere else to turn at the time.
And you used our bedroom as a stage for your deceit.
Oh, Helen, you bore me.
And you disappoint me. And it's an unfortunate thing for you and me, because I still love you. Therefore, I will not give you a divorce.
That remains to be seen. I want you out.
I should have known. You want it all.
Correction. I have it all.
Well, I am not leaving. A divorce is out of the question. You and Miriam are still my responsibilities. And whether you know it or not, you need me. Now, I will not discuss this any further.
There are ways, Helen. There are ways.
Becky, it's so good to see you. You too. Lori, look at you. What are you, little Miss Domestic now?
Mrs. Domestic.
Oh, excuse me. Yes. Look at this place. It looks like the inside of some interior design magazine.
I know I have to pinch myself once an hour to make sure I'm awake.
You want me to take off my shoes?
Oh, don't be silly. As a matter of fact, I can't wait for this place to get dirty so I can clean it. Don't tell Ben, but I've already vacuumed 6 times.
You know, the kitchen smells like you'll have a good time cleaning it. And I promise not to offer to do the dishes, all right?
Okay, deal. I'd love to hear the dishwasher anyway.
I should have figured that.
I mean, I know that the newness will wear off sooner or later, but it's so much fun playing house. Won't you have a seat, Miss Hewitt, and we'll play show and tell?
I'd love to, Mrs. Martin, but I'm no longer Miss Hewitt.
Becky, you're not.
Yes, I am. We don't have rings to prove it like you, but Versa and I finally made it legal. We'll pick out rings as soon as we decide what we like.
Oh, well, when? How? Tell me all about it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Russ proposed, and I said, yes. And so we did it.
When?
Yesterday.
Where?
At some cute little chapel about 20 miles out of town.
I wish Ben and I could have been there.
Me too. But, you know, we kind of decided no fanfare. Russ kind of wanted a small, intimate little morning service.
What did your parents say?
They're thrilled. Well, maybe a little insulted at not being invited.
Oh, I'm sure that Russ's mother's really happy, too. When will you get to meet her?
Soon, I hope. Russ tried to call her, but, Oh, guess what else?
Another surprise?
Yes. You're talking to a singing star.
You tried out for the college play?
Better than that. Besides, Heather got the lead again this year. Anyway, this is money. Do you remember the group Summer Wind?
The rock band?
Yeah. Well, I am now the lead singer. I gotta put this yacker to use somehow, huh? You should have seen us opening night, Lord. They love me. Us, all of us, you know.
Where did you open?
A little place, but that's only the beginning. We're gonna go bigger.
Oh, a wife and a singer all in 2 weeks' time. What next?
I don't know.
Do you and Russ have any plans for Christmas Eve?
Solitude. Things have been so hectic lately. I just want him all to myself Christmas Eve. For our first Christmas, I kind of have a special present for him. How about you and Ben?
Well, we're going to go over to my mother's house for a Christmas Eve party. I smell food. Hungry?
Starved. Listen, has cooking improved since you got married? Huh?
Just for that, you have to eat it.
I had to give him my gold tooth to see the look on Martin's face when he found out his lawyer folded on him.
Well, at least Hughes had the good sense to vacate. And incidentally, what's the latest on that revoked remodeling permit?
Well, demolition team's on hold, and we wait for our hearing in 14 days.
Well, I don't want to wait another 2 weeks.
I'll try to get it moved up a couple of days.
But that's no difference. All the hearing does is just give him an extra 2 weeks. No. The remodeling phase has done its job.
Yeah, it'd take a healthy patient to get across that obstacle course.
Why don't you put some pressure on that Marshall woman? Get her to drop the revocation notice. If you do that, then all we have to do is proceed with evicting Martin.
She's a tough cookie.
Well, call Slaymaker. He owes me one.
Now, you leave this to me. I'll be nominated for an Academy Award when I get through with Miss Marshall.
Good. Well, that's one problem solved. Tell me, Webster, how are you at handling a divorce?
I bounced back pretty quick.
Not yours, mine. A nice, clean break and no press coverage, none. Bad for business.
I thought, isn't your wife the large investor that put Hollister Mall on the map?
A contribution, her last.
I'll bet. Does she know?
I'll handle the personal details. You just take care of the legal matters. And do what you have to do it quick and profitably for me. I'm certain that you'll want alimony, but keep it minimal.
You've been married, what, 35 years?
33.
Charles, are you sure you want to do this?
Yes, I am. Quick and clean.
Sure. You're the boss. Anything we can do your mother in for?
I thought I stashed a box in our closet. Very special.
Remember when I went to Margie's Christmas party like this?
How could I forget? You were in the 8th grade and your ears hurt for a week.
Only because her little brother kept tugging at them.
Say, did you check those lights?
Not yet. Mom, aren't they getting a little old?
Well, I guess I'm going to have Peter check them before we use them this year.
Oh, I wouldn't trust him to do that after what he did, almost catching his hair on fire.
Wrapping himself in lights like a Christmas tree wasn't exactly the brightest idea, pardon the pun, but he was only 11.
Well, if Dad hadn't unplugged him as fast as he did, Peter would have been a bald tree.
Oh, this one's Mother's favorite.
I hope Grandma's feeling better by Christmas Eve. You know, I can't remember a tree trimming party without her. It wouldn't be the same.
Well, I'm hoping that she and Nancy can overcome their difficulties by then.
Well, if not, we'll just have more fireworks. Who's coming over this year?
Oh, we're going to have a house full. Let's see, there's going to be you and Ben, Cummings, Mitch, and plenty of goodies.
I invited Becky and Russ, but they're busy. They got married yesterday.
Married? Well, you don't sound too happy for them.
Becky's dropping out of school.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Becky looks so tired and so thin, and they couldn't even afford wedding rings.
Well, good marriages don't depend on material things. It's what's in their hearts.
I know that, Mom.
And believe me, I'm so thankful for what Ben and I have. And I know we could be happy even without those things.
Is Russ
but
quitting school, too?
I don't think so. At least not yet. Becky's supporting them as a singer in a rock band.
She's been a busy girl.
I'm worried about her. She's pregnant.
Is she sure?
Ben is. Ben knows how close I am to her, so he told me.
Well, how's that?
Well, he was filling in for Dr. Greeley one day, and Becky had an appointment. Today at lunch, I gave her every opportunity to tell me.
Well, she's probably just waiting to break the news about the baby until everyone's heard about the wedding.
Unless she's making other plans.
You mean abortion? She and Russ are married. Why do that?
No money. Her job. Russ's med school. She's hurting, Mom. I see it in her eyes. And I want to help her, but I just don't know what to do.
Well, Becky's going through an awful lot. Sometimes confiding in a close friend can really help. Start by telling her that you know and that you care.
Welcome back, stranger.
Alex, how are you?
Fine. You know, your patients missed you, and so did I. How's Lori?
What's better than wonderful?
All right, all right. I get the message.
Now, Lori's the one bright spot in my life. My practice isn't doing so well, though.
Well, now, don't worry. You know, your patients will come flooding in as soon as they hear you're back in town.
Yeah, well, only if they can fly. My landlord has remodeled the area in front of my office.
Ben, isn't it time you moved? You know, my offer still stands. Come into full-time practice with me.
Well, thank you, Alex. I am tempted, but I can't. I mean, I've got to give Carpenter a run for my money.
Ben, he's going to run you out of business.
Well, look, I paid him 6 months' rent in advance, not to mention the equipment I bought. No, Alex, I've got to fight him.
You're fighting a losing battle.
Yeah, well, we'll see. His remodeling permit has been revoked, so... and besides, you know, it's the principle of the thing.
Sometimes principles and pride look a lot alike.
Yeah. And, well, I also have an obligation to the elderly people in that area. Mrs. Bailey wouldn't be here right now if I hadn't had my office nearby.
All right, all right. Have it your way.
Alex, I do thank you for your concern and for filling in for me while I was on my honeymoon.
Well, you did it for me. And I may ask you again. That is, if you think you'll have time.
Oh, I think I can make the time. I've been wondering about the condition of one of your patients I saw the last time I filled in for you.
No? Which one?
Well, it was a young woman, and she was having difficulty with a pregnancy.
Acute redhead.
Yes, I believe so. Has she been back to see you?
Well, let's stop beating around the bush, Ben. Becky Hewitt.
Lori and I are very concerned about her.
And with good reason. Her pregnancy's a very delicate one. And if she doesn't start taking care of herself, she could well lose that baby. Unless she has an abortion first.
How does it feel to be Mrs. Russell Weaver?
It feels right. But then I open my eyes and reality stares back at me.
This is reality. Me and you always.
Yeah, but Russ, when I look past you, all I see is a dumpy apartment, bills that have to be paid, med school.
Excuse me. I'm trying to do the best I can. We knew it would be better roses. Don't you think I want to get you the best?
I know you do. And I can wait. Besides, I'm going to be earning more money soon, right? I hope. Look, I want you to see what I got. I had a part of the $20 that Mom and Dad gave me. Ooh! I must have spent $3. I splurged.
Now is mistletoe.
Yeah, I guess it's more than we can afford to cheer this place up. You should see Lori and Ben's new condo.
When'd you see it?
Lori had me over for lunch today. You want a soda?
No, I thought that they were broke because Ben dumped all his money into that office.
Ben's parents gave them a down payment on the condo for a wedding present and paid for the furniture.
Well, it must be nice. Man, Lori and Dr. Ben must be in seventh heaven after having everything handed to them on a silver platter.
Don't knock it. Your father would do the same thing for us if you just
I
let
don't
him.
take handouts like some people.
Let's not discuss it, okay?
Speaking of Mom and Pop, by the way, we're having Christmas Eve dinner with them.
For us. I made plans for us.
Well,
Alone.
I guess you're gonna have to cancel those plans for us alone.
Come on, it's our first Christmas. Don't I get a vote?
I think that I've already voted for you. Come on, Becky.
Now, we're not going to stand for this graphic illustration of your bias.
Mr. Webster, you are rudely interrupting.
This is urgent. Now, my client, Charles Carpenter, has been served with a terrible injustice, and I demand immediate restitution.
I suggest you keep your voice down, Webster.
Excuse us, Mr. Carson. Listen, just take a minute. You can take your idle threats and leave this office.
This is harassment. Now, my client is within the law to remodel.
Well, not if his primary reason for doing so is to run tenants out of business.
That is a prejudiced assumption, which you have no way of proving.
You'd have a tough time proving otherwise.
We don't want any trouble. But I'm warning you, Miss Marshall Dillon. You better reverse your decision, or I'm filing a complaint with Slaymaker.
Well, just file away and see where it gets you.
Now, we're going to see where it gets you. It's going to cost you your job.
Well, you had better leave before your mouth costs you.
You know, this isn't the first time you've treated my client unfairly because of some personal vendetta.
Carpenter was granted the zone change,
Well,
Webster.
sure, after the approval was dragged out purposely. It cost my client undue expense.
I'm going to have you purposely dragged out of here if you don't leave right now.
Well, add physical threats to the harassment complaint I'm going to file with Commissioner Slaymaker right now. You can clean out your desk, young lady. Your civil service career's over. Have a nice day.